force at 20-degree crank angle. Now this is what the capacity of the capacity of the press, or what we call that, the press rating, right? It is designed for that particular position, particular force, with a stroke of 15 mm. Stroke is variable from 1 to 15 mm, right? So maximum stroke is 15 mm, and it can vary from 1 centimeter to 15 mm. So we can say that R, what we had called, that R can be varied from 1 centimeter to 15 centimeter. So with that, we are able to vary the force. Calculate the tonnage available when the ram is 3 centimeter above its BDC. Take the stroke length of 10 centimeter. Now we can vary the stroke between 1 centimeter to, we can vary it from 1 cm to 15 cm, right? And the force what we got is 90 ton when theta equal to 20 degree and when the stroke is 15 centimeter, right? So if we keep the stroke different, we will get the different value of the force, right? So for whatever 90 tons what we are getting, it is for 20-degree crank angle and for stroke length of 15 centimeter. Now stroke length can vary. Now we want to find out what is the tonnage when the ram is at 3 centimeter above its BDC and the stroke is 10 centimeter, right? So we can vary the stroke from 1 to 15. Now we had kept it as 10, and we had the ram is at 3 centimeter above its BDC. So if I talk this particular H we are talking in the previous slide, this H is equal to 30. So for H equal to 30 and R equal to what is the stroke what they had mentioned, I think 10. So 10 by 2, right? Because stroke will be radius will be half of the stroke. So for these two particular value, we have to find out what is the force. So with this value, because already the design force had been given to you, so we have to find out what is the force that we will get in the some another position. That is what we are expected to work out. Now data is what we had given with H equal to 3 centimeter, S is equal to 10. So H by S, whatever the relation we had established, from that data we can find out theta, correct? So what I mean that if for the second position when H is equal to S is equal to 10 and H is equal to 3 centimeter, we can work out the value of theta. So if I work out, we will get theta equal to 66.42. So whatever this angle, whatever this 90 ton what we are going to get, that will be at 20-degree angle and the stroke length of 15 centimeter. Now for these particular values, we will get theta equal to 66.42. Now we have to find out what is the value of the force. What is the value of the force for all this combination? So crank angle from BDC, that is what theta. Since torque will remain constant at any angle, whether it is 20 degree or whether it is 66.42 what we had required, what we had calculated now. So this torque will remain constant. So whether if it is a force of Fr sin theta, so any position we can get F1, R1, so where we can see and into cos theta 1. So for any position, and we can get some, if we have some another force or another position, we can have another force, we can have another length of the what we call that crank, and we can have some another angle. So F1 R1 cos theta 1 will be equal to F2 R2 cos theta. So that we can have various positions remain constant since angular velocity of the crank is always constant there. So this is how if I want to remove, so I had done it in the same way. erase ink on the slide. Okay. So now F into 10 by 2, that is what our data, what we have. This is what we had calculated here. F into radius into sine of 66.32. Now this is what we want to calculate, equal to, now this is what the rated capacity. So for 90 ton, 15 by 2 is the stroke, what has been given, into sine 20. So that torque will remain constant. So we are comparing the torque or equating the torque at the various positions. So if we work out, that becomes 50.4 tons. Correct. So we can see the force what we are going to get at this particular position is 50.4 tons. Right. So it will be obviously should be less than 90 tons always at any position. This is what the maximum force the press is designed. We can get the more force on this also, right? So if we increase the angle or if we decrease the angle, make it 10 or 15, obviously this force will increase. But the other part of the press machines might be connecting rod or crank radius, crank material or ram material, they cannot sustain that amount of force and they may break. Correct. So, so we will not overload the press beyond this 90 ton. If we overload this press beyond 90 ton, or if we try to work out some more force requirement is more for some other jobs there. If you try to work out that, that may damage the machine in that case, right? Because at another crank angle, it can generate the force more, but that may damage some other parts. So rating and other things had been specified there, that don't use the machine for more than 90 tons. It is capable to go for 100 tons also, but that may cause damage to the machine. So that is what the simple meaning of the press rating or press capacity, and that will be position given, it will be given at this particular position 20 degrees crank, right? So and even the second meaning of this particular is that we should not try to work out any work from the press machine which will require a force of, so if this is 20 degree, this is what, so at the 20 degree we can get the maximum force, right? So the force now which had been required, let us say at 15 degrees, so if I make it as 10 degrees, let us say theta equal to 10 degree, we can get some another force, right? So that force might be more than this, but you should not load the machine in this case with more force there, right? So when we say that we had designed it for 20 tons, so you should not put any job here which will require more than 20 tons or 30 tons. Otherwise, it will be overloaded and that may damage the press machine. So this is one type of the numerical. Let us go for some another energy requirement. We had talked about the forces right now. So with this relation, we can work out the force requirement, and we can talk about the, so we can see that force are varying for the various position, but torque will always remain constant. So let us say about the energy. So we had talked about this force, press force here. Now let us talk about the energy there. Right, the press force is over. Now let us talk about the energy part. Now energy for the press will be generally supplied from the crank mechanism as well as the flywheel which had been mounted on the crankshaft. So flywheel, as we know, it will store the energy when it is not required, and it will release the energy when it is required. So the general function of the flywheel, what we see in the IC engine. So let N0 is the idle flywheel RPM. It means that if we are not putting any load on the machine, or we are not doing any job on the machine, there is no cutting, blanking, drawing operation which are being carried out. So at that time, if the flywheel is moving, let it to be moving at N0 RPM, the crankshaft or the overall assembly above that. N1 is the flywheel RPM after stroke. Now, once we do the operation, correct? So once we have this RAM which will come down, we have this RAM which will come down and it will do the operation. Obviously, due to the reaction of the cutting forces, this speed will retarded due to the load, and that RPM will decrease. So whatever the earlier RPM which is happening there N0, it will decrease up to N1. So flywheel after stroke, right? So due to the energy which had been released for cutting or blanking or drawing operation, that RPM will decrease. So let us say that decreased RPM will be N1. I is the moment of inertia of the flywheel. Omega is the angular velocity. Es is the energy supplied by the flywheel. EFT is the force energy supplied at N0 RPM, energy of flywheel at N0, and energy of the flywheel at N1, right? So whatever the energy loss which will happen, that difference will be, so ES is obviously the difference between N0 RPM energy of the flywheel and N1 RPM of the flywheel. So ES is the energy supplied by the flywheel, and that energy is used for cutting operation or blanking or drawing. So this particular allowable decrease in the RPM. So obviously, let us say if machine crank is moving at an RPM with the idle with no load is 100, but it is allowed to reduce that RPM up to 80 or up to 90. Correct. So this 80 by 90 is allowed, so that this 0.9 to 0.8 is drop in the speed for the continuous and discontinuous operation. This amount is generally fixed because we don't allow it to beyond certain limit. So that allowable range is there, and that will be generally specified for the machines. Now, energy which had been released by the flywheel, as you know, is I omega square by 2. So where I angular velocity can be expressed as twice pi n by 60 square. So we can see all these terms except n are constant. So flywheel inertia is constant, 2 pi 60, all these constant. So constant into n square. So energy is a direct function of square of the RPM. You can see it is the square of the RPM which is going to dictate that. So energy supplied by the flywheel is nothing but the difference at N0 RPM and at N1 RPM. So we can work out this K, which is constant factor, all these things, into N0 square minus N1 square. So if we rearrange the term, we can see ES by EFT is equal to 1 minus N1 square upon N0 square. So and for allowable reduction in the speed of RPM, let us say for 0.8, if we put this value, we can get ES upon EFT as 0.36. So ES is the supplied and EFT is the original energy of the flywheel at the normal speed, normal RPM. It means 36% of the total energy is supplied for press working operations, which must be more than the required energy for cutting, drawing, coining, blanking, all those operations, right? So whenever we know that EFT of N0 is, let us say, 100 kilocalorie or joules, whatever the energy. So out of that, it is allowed to release the energy of 36%. So 36 joules are allowed to be released by that flywheel, and within that 36 joule only you must be able to complete all the operations which are required there, right? So though we are getting 100 joules, but it is allowed to release only 36 joules. So whatever the work what we have to do, that must be within the limit of 36 joules. That we can again say it is what the capacity of the machine. it can be terms in the terms, it can be expressed in the other terms now. Earlier we are expressing in the terms of the forces or reactions what had been generated. Now we can state in these terms that energy cannot be exceeded more than 36% of the energy of the flywheel. So any questions on this? Conceptually, what we are looking, press force, it means how we work out the press force, what is the maximum force which will be which can be utilized for the operations. And in the second way, now we are trying to work out what is the maximum energy which can be utilized for the various press working operations. So energy calculations and as well as the force calculation, these two things we can see it right now. Okay. So let us go for this type of numerical. So what, how we can apply these relations what we had developed for working out what is the allowable energy or the suitability of the press, right? So when I say that if I want to do certain operation, whether this machine is suitable or not, whether that machine is capable or not, right? So check regarding the suitability of the press when we say selection of the press with the following press data for blanking and drawing. So operation is blanking and drawing what we are doing. Let us say if you are doing a cup, if you want to do a find out, if you are trying to work out the cup, obviously you must be given with some sort of sheet, and from that sheet you are going to develop the blank first, and from the blank you can develop the cup, right? So with these two, for this particular operation of drawing which involves blanking and drawing, we have to see that whatever the press what we are going to use, whether it is suitable or not, whether it is proper or not. So capacity of the press tool is 150 ton at 20 degree from BDC. I told you this will give the force of the press tool at particular angle. So this is what the capacity or the rating of the press I told you. Now stroke length is 120 centimeter. These are the other data of that particular flywheel which had been available with you. Stroke length is 120. Now it can vary from, it may vary from 80 to let us say 150, but we had kept the stroke length equal to 120. That might be as per the requirement of the drawing and blanking operation, right? So if you want to draw it up to 100 centimeter, obviously we can't take the stroke more than 100, or you cannot utilize the stroke of 150, right? Because our requirement is only 100 centimeter that piston, that punch should move and do the drawing operation. So accordingly we will adjust the stroke length, and let us say we had kept it as 120. Total flywheel energy is 180 tons centimeter. Okay, force into distance, that is what the energy. This is what the total flywheel energy that we had seen, how we calculated that. Permitted slowdown of the speed, so it is 20% permitted slowdown, that we can't, let us say when the flywheel is moving at n0 speed, and when we do it after operation, it will reduce it to n1 speed, so that reduction in the speed is allowed up to 20 degrees. Blanking load, now if we had already know how we calculate the blanking force, the drawing force and other things, right? So let us say if we are given with the cup with so and so dimension, might be 100 centimeter, and let us say this could be 50 centimeter. So, and the thickness will be 2 mm or 3 mm, whatever the things. So depending on this, we can work out what is the blank size, what is the blanking force, so that all those calculation had been already done, and let the blanking load works out to be 30 tons. Drawing force required is 10 tons. Blank holding force is 3 tons. Depth of the cup is 30. Consider it is 100. Let us say it is 35. Stock thickness is 1 centimeter. The sheet what we are going to use, it will be 1 centimeter thickness. Percent penetration. Now this will be required for blanking operation, right? So penetration is the required only in cutting or blanking operation, so that total penetration which is required to do the cutting or blanking is 30%. So now where the force are required? I told you that during our cutting or blanking operation, when we do the cutting with the tool, that this is what the total penetration. The penetration of the shaft, penetration of the punch will be up to the penetration depth, and beyond the penetration depth, the material will flow by itself. So energy what is required, it is only up to the penetration depth only. The force is required to cut the material, or it will be utilized during the penetration depth only. Rest of all, it is not going to absorb energy. It will simply move along with the punch. But the efforts are required only up to the 30% of the depth of the thickness. So 30% of the depth is, so we can say 0.3 mm only force is required to separate the material for blanking operation. And for drawing operation, we need to flow the material up to 35 mm. Depth of the cup is 35 mm. Right? So we need to flow the material up to 35 mm. So drawing force are utilized only for 35 mm of the stroke, and cutting forces are used only for 0.3 mm of the stroke. So though we have a stroke of 120, only 35 mm will be used for drawing operation, and only 0.3 mm is used for the what we call that, cutting or blanking operation. The rest of them will not be using any force or any energy for that. Okay, so that is what the problem. Now we can think it from tonnage point of view. We are solving it from the 2 points of view. Now we see press force and press energy. So let us say, let us work out the force. Now total load on the press is what? The blanking load, drawing load, holding. So all these three forces which had been given to you, 40, 10 and 3. So that is nothing but your blanking load, drawing load, and 3 ton, right? Is it 3 ton or what? Okay, so I think it must be 40 ton. So it had taken 30 here, and here it is shown as 40. Okay, so 40 plus 10 plus 5, 53 ton is what the total force requirement, right? So your capacity of the press to develop the force must be more than 53. Then only if we are using some combination die at single point of time, it must be able to release more than this force, right? Since the diameter of the cup is 33.5 centimeter, so it is not 35 centimeter, it is 3.5 centimeter, 35 mm. Okay, so 35 mm. From BDC, assuming bottom of the cup at BDC. Now we are assuming the cup reaches, when the punch reaches at the bottom of the cup, that will be its BDC position, right? From BDC, assuming bottom of the cup at BDC. Once the punch reaches to the bottom of the cup, we are assuming that it has reached to the bottom dead center. Force will increase towards BDC. Obviously, the force will be maximum at the BDC position. Now, tonnage available at 3.5 centimeter from BDC. Now, we are moving the press punch from, since 35, 3.5 is your total depth of the cup. So it will start drawing operation from this point to this point. Once it will reach to that BDC point, it has reached to the end of the cup or bottom of the cup. So obviously H means 3.5 now, because the force will required at this point of time. So we have to calculate what is the force which is available at this point of time. So H is 3.5. Stroke is been already given to you. Stroke is 12 centimeter. Actually, it should be mm, I think. So stroke is mm. So 3.5 divided by 12, 1 minus cos theta. by theta. This will give theta is equal to 65.37. What does it mean? That crank will be at this position, 35 angle. This angle will be 65 when it will be doing that particular drawing operation will begin at this position. This is the punch and this is the die and this is the cup what we have, the blank what we have, right? So at this position, the drawing operation will begin. So what is the beginning force? That beginning force can be worked out from this position, right? So we get the position of theta when we start the drawing operation. That position of theta is the position of the crank is 65.37. So with that 60.7, now we have to work out what is the force. So obviously I told you torque will remain constant. So since the torque will remain constant, we have already another data. So you can even the what we call that press tonnage is given to you, right? So press tonnage is 150 at 20 degree. So we have certain torque which will generate at this position. The same torque will remain at another position. So at this position also torque will remain same. So if we equate the torque, so F S by 2 sine theta is the stroke is same. So we can work out torque equal to F into sine 65.37 is equal to 150. So this is at the since the stroke is same, right? So instead of F S by 2, S by 2 will be same in both the positions. So stroke will remain same. So this will not be going to affect anyway. So F sine 65.37 is equal to 150 is the capacity of the press into sine 20 at what position what we have, right? So if we just equate these two positions, we will get F equal to 56.44. Now the force which is available at this position, the force which is available at this position at this theta equal to 56.44, which is more than 53 tons. Now 53 tons is what? This one. Where what is the required force to do all the operations is 53 tons, and what is force which is available at this particular position is 56. So as long as our force is more than what is required, we are safe. So we are able to do the operations. The press is capable to produce that force what is required at that position. And if this force is less, then we are not able to perform the operations. That is what the required force is more than what is the calculated force is more than what is required. Okay, so this is what from tonnage point of view where we work out the forces. Now from energy point of view, now we had seen press force and press energy. So total energy required is equal to blanking. We have to release some energy during blanking operation. We have to release certain energy from drawing operation and also for holding. So energy for blanking will be force. We know the force for blanking is 40 tons, which had been given into whatever the distance what we require. So it is only the penetration depth. So 0.3 into 1, right? So 0.3 into 1 is the penetration depth. So that works out to be 30% of the 40. So that is 1.2 torque centimeter. This is what the total energy for blank. Similarly for drawing, we know the drawing force is 10 and the drawing height is 3.5 mm. So 10 into 3.5 is 35 tons centimeter. So we are getting the energy for blanking, energy for drawing, and energy for blank holding will be 3 into 3.5, right? So for entire drawing operation, that energy is used 3 into 3.5, so 10.5. So total energy requirement is the summation of all of this, that is 46.7. Now energy what is available from the flywheel, now this is what 80% reduction is allowed. So we get 0.36 that we had already calculated, right? So ES is equal to 64.8 torque centimeter, right? So now what is the energy which is available? Total flywheel energy is 180 torque centimeter. Now we have to take 36% of this 180 torque centimeter. So if you work out 36% of this 180, it works out to be 64.8. Now this 64.8 is more than what is energy, what is required. So 64 is more than this particular energy what has been required. It means our press is capable to release that amount of energy which is required for blanking, drawing, and all rest of the operations. If this energy which had been released is less than that particular operation, means that machine is not proper. We have to select the proper machine there. Okay, so with this, our main contents of the module 6 had been